I want to talk a little bit about motherhood and parenting in general. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I was watching Chris Williamson, and he was interviewing Jordan Peterson. And Jordan Peterson brought up a very interesting point about how mothers, if they're a good mother, upsets their children often. And that was like, really? And so I thought about it for a few minutes, and I think he's right. So I want to dive into this video. I want to react to it and give you some of my points out of it, but really want you to take in what Jordan Peterson is saying here and the premise of what he's trying to bring to the table. So let's take a listen.
We're going to upset the people that are around you.
Right, but in the short term again.
Yeah.
In the short term again, you know, if you look at a good mother upsets her kids a lot. Quit doing that. Why? Well, why? Why not just let your children do exactly what they want? When the answer to that is, well, first of all, it terrifies them because kids actually want walls.
Okay, so real quick, how many of you guys know mothers or just families that you know that just let their kids like run wild? I can't tell you how many times we've gotten together with people, with friends at the park, even with other family members, and it's like their kids are just going nuts all over the place. There's no structure. There's no, hey, don't do that. It's all just like this passive, like, oh, they're just being kids or whatever. And it's like, no, like the kids over there, like throwing the cat across the room and we're not doing anything about it. Like, no, like we need to have some discipline here, right? And take that word discipline and use it now, whatever context you want. We're not going to get into how to properly discipline your kids right now. But the idea is that there's so much passivity when it comes to parenting these days, and I don't understand why. But what he's going to say right here is children need structure and they need discipline. So let's listen.
They don't want to be in the desert doing anything they want. They want a walled space in which they have the optimal amount of freedom. So a person who truly loves someone else doesn't strive at all costs never to upset them. That's the devouring mother. If you love someone, well, that's the biblical quote, you chastise them. Well, what does it mean? It's like, look, if you love someone and they're doing something stupid and self-destructive and you can see it, it's incumbent on you to say, you know, this is going to upset you, but as far as I can tell, you're doing something stupid and self-destructive. And then there's going to be...
So that context is going to be with your kids. It's going to be with your best friends. It's going to be with the ones that you love. There's so much going on in this world today where it's this idea of love equals affirmation of whatever I do, no matter what. And it's just not true. We have to be loving and we have to be truthful with those that we care about. It starts with our kids. And I think what a great example here that he's giving with moms and their kids. Like, no, you love your kids enough to set up boundaries, to call them out when they're not doing something right, to help correct them and move them in the right direction. I remember Jordan Peterson talking about parenting one time, and he said a parent's job is to make them likable by age 2 or 3, something like that, to where other people want to be around them, right? It's this idea that your kid is not annoying enough to where adults don't want to be around them, because then you're setting your child up for failure, for rejection. I mean, we all know those kids that you're like, here they are, and I have to put on my happy face. I have to endure what's about to come. I have to show love no matter what I get back. And like as a parent, that would be so difficult to know that I set my kid up to be that person. Jordan Peterson says in his book, 12 Rules for Life, something to the effect of, don't allow your children to do things that annoy you. I thought that was a great quote, because if your kids are doing something that annoys you, I guarantee you it annoys other people. And when it annoys other people, they don't love your kids as much as you do. And so you're going to be way more gracious. You're going to be way more forgiving for your kids. But man, other people are not going to be as gracious as you are. And when you do that, you allow others, you give your kids an unfair advantage going out into the world of other adults and other kids and not wanting to be around them. So we have to know that, no, we're not here just to affirm our kids. We're not here to just whatever, they're kids, we'll let them do whatever they want. No, structure is so important when raising kids in your family, setting up meal times, setting up bedtimes, setting up these structures that they know that, hey, at 8 o'clock, like in our house, at 8 o'clock, the kids know that's when we start brushing our teeth, we start sitting around as a family to read our Bibles, and we start getting ready for bed, and we talk about whatever comes up at the time. But 8 o'clock is when we start doing that. And that's pretty much the same every night, even if we're, somewhere else or whatever it might be, unless it's obviously like vacations and stuff like that. We could change it up a little bit, right? But having those times and those structures, my kids know that most evenings at 5 o'clock, 5:30, we're sitting down as a family and we're eating dinner together. That's just part of our family routine. That's what we try and make priority. No, we don't do it perfectly, and it's not every night. But I can tell you that doing that makes a huge difference. So, all of that to say, my encouragement is, 1, don't let your kids do things that annoy you, because it probably annoys somebody else. 2, get some structure in the home if you don't already have it. Set up bedtimes, set up meal times, let them know exactly what's happening so that they can have some predictability to know that this is what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, because they want that safe, predictable place. And like Jordan said, they want boundaries. They want a place that they can safely be in, that they know they can have fun to the fullest. They're going to test it. Obviously, they're kids. But having that discipline, having that structure is going to be so important with your family. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the clip. I'd love to hear some comments about maybe how some of this might help, or maybe some things that you do in your family, some rituals you have in your family, some structured things you have in your family that are helpful, that will help other people. That's why we're here. We want to help everybody around us do better at life. And this one's for the parents of kids, to hopefully help you with your parenting. It took us a long time to figure it out. We still don't have it fully figured out. Nobody has it fully figured out. But remember, we have a perfect father that we can look to, and he is a perfect parent to us. We need to emulate him in all we do. So with that, thanks for watching. God bless. Have a great one.